Hey, welcome back to On the Roof Cocktails. We're back with our series on how to build your college bar. Today we are doing the Kentucky Mule. If you're not familiar with this series, be sure to like and subscribe. But the point is to take you through all the things you can make with one bottle. We're starting with this bottle of mellow corn whiskey and building out your college bar one bottle at a time. So, as I said, today we're doing the Kentucky Mule. All right, let's get started. So a mule is just anything with ginger beer and some sort of spirit. Today, I'm making a Kentucky Mule because we're using whiskey. So, as usual, we're using the same whiskeys we've been using, hence the one bottle part of this episode, but also I'm going to use another 2-ounce pour. You're probably familiar with most of your mules being served in a copper mug. And you might think there's some sort of reason for that. It's really not, as far as anyone knows. A lot of people think that someone who owned a lot of copper mugs and someone who owned a lot of vodka got together and were like, hey, we can make this work. Let's make mules of some sort. So you've got your 2-ounce pour of whiskey. This cocktail is another one that's just kind of to taste. So what I do is I cut a lime in half like this, and then I'll cut it again in half. I'll take these 2 wedges and I'll squeeze them into the drink. If you have a juicer and you want to use it, go for it. For me, this one's just kind of a go for it drink. Go ahead and throw these out. And you don't need this other half lime. It's good for another drink though, so get on it. You've got your whiskey and your lime in your glass. Go ahead and throw some ice in there. So another one of those drinks where any type of ice will do. I just happen to have these big cubes, so I'm gonna crack them in. Or I'm gonna try to crack them in. If all of your ice doesn't fit at first, just kind of start stirring. And as you get down here, the ice will start to settle in. Throw it on top. This is an 11-ounce glass for reference, so we're probably going to put about 3 or 4 ounces of ginger beer in here. I've tried a bunch of ginger beers actually. Gosling's is my favorite. It's a little bit sweeter, but it's still got some nice ginger bite. Some of the other ones get to be a little gingery and not quite sweet enough, or just boring. And then kind of just run your spoon up the side a little bit to mix, and you've got your Kentucky Mule. So light and refreshing. I will say that this one's a little bit strong. You might want a slightly bigger glass. You'll get a little bit more ginger beer and a little bit less whiskey, but that's got some really good flavor. Yeah, this is a great drink. It's super light, super refreshing. It's great for a hot summer day. What I really like about this drink is not just the flavor of the whiskey. This whiskey, we've seen it can be a little bit sweeter, a little bit more mellow. It's even in the name, but it's not a super biting, a super strong whiskey. And that's something I kind of like in this, It lets the ginger beer kind of take a front seat. It gives it some more character because you're tasting the mix of all the flavors. You're not just trying to cover up some super strong whiskey with some ginger beer. Another thing I really like about this drink is I really like the citrus in it. The acidity from the lime really adds a lot of flavor. It brings out the sharpness, the spice of the ginger, and it gets the balance a little bit better. It keeps that ratio in balance a little better between the sweetness and the acidity. For a lot of drinks, if you just make something with whiskey or some other spirit and something with ginger beer, you're gonna get something that's super sweet, maybe a little bit too sweet even, and something that's not gonna show off the bite of the ginger the way I like to have it. In that regard, I really like Gosling's. It's probably my preferred ginger beer. Clearly I haven't tried them all, but some of them are just too much about the spice and not enough about the sweetness of the ginger. And then some of them are just super sweet and kind of boring. I think Gosling's rides a nice line between the two. As for the cost of this drink, it's not a super expensive drink. You know, 1 can of Goslings probably makes 2.5 cocktails, and a 6-pack of Goslings is maybe $7 or $8. So you're getting your bang for your buck for continuing to make drinks with the same bottle. Limes are also super cheap. I think a lime in my location is like 70 cents. So yeah, in terms of total cost, we've got the total cost for this drink is this much, and the total cost for all the bottles you've seen so far in the show as this much. Again, not horribly expensive. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build out your college bar, knowing that you're on a budget, and making the drinks, showing you the drinks you can make, making them with you, and teaching you along the way. So yeah, the Kentucky Mule. Cheers. If you like this video, if you like this series, be sure to like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you great content like this. Thanks. Oops.